Hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, a.k.a. Man of the People, because you have a friend of the media, which is myself. So any questions that you may have about this Carolina Panthers team, let me know, and I will do my best to get it to you, all right? So day 9 of training camp is in the books. We're getting one day closer to that preseason game in New England, and, we're on our 3rd consecutive day of practice, and I'm already dizzy. I thought it was Tuesday. Et cetera, et cetera. So it's beginning to be a little bit of a blur, but nevertheless, I'm here dedicated to giving you guys the latest news and information about this Carolina Panthers team. So we're going to go through some practice notes today. By the way, some people have talked about the red shirt. They want me to change. They feel like maybe it's a nod to the Falcons or something like that. It's not. The company's been around for about 20 years, been the colors for that long. But I tell you what, I am the man of the people, so I may consider changing it. But this is my training camp attire. Keeps me cool out there in that heat all day. So just want to get that update out there to you. Also, I think someone's been asking me about the snaps. To be honest, I forgot to look in detail at the snaps today. Corbett actually wasn't. I don't think he was out there centering much today. So I hadn't looked at that. But overall, that first preseason game, which some people want to know like what to expect, that'll be when I can start to see some more things. And but we'll get all into that in just a second. Got some early people signing on, so I want to get some shout-outs here. Marcos Cash, keep pounding. Appreciate you, Marcos. Shan, Trouble Man, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in as well. And then here we go, my good friend, Knucklehead K. What's up, Chris? Hope all is well. All is very well. So sorry that we did not have a chance to talk when I saw you I think it was last week. I saw Knucklehead K, but I did say hello, got to shake her hand, and continue to move on to Knucklehead K. Hope all is well with you out there on the road doing what you do. So let's go ahead and get into training camp today, which I'm going to tell you, going to give you a slight spoiler. It wasn't a bad practice. It wasn't a great practice. It was just, to me, a practice that was like, again, with the consecutive days of practice, I'm thinking, this is a light practice because tomorrow we're off, and then the next day is the game, but it's not tomorrow off. Tomorrow is a practice, and tomorrow will be a padded practice. So maybe that had something to do with it. But I'm going to go over my play-by-play and also give you some breakdown of interviews that coaches had and players had. But I will jump ahead of myself. Okay, there was a play today in which Terrace Marshall Jr. went down. Everybody took a knee. It was pretty quiet during that time. And Terrace did eventually get up after what I would say is a couple of minutes, kind of laying on his back, set up for about another minute. And then he actually just got up and walked off the field under his own power. And he walked to the field that is adjacent to the one that he was practicing on, got the hit, kind of jogged around for a little bit, did some stretches, and then I kind of lost attention at that point, going back to focusing on practice. But things appear to be okay with Terrace, as Coach Canales told us after practice, that he just got the wind knocked out of him. The two guys collided. I forget who the other guy was that he collided with, but just got the wind knocked out of him. Looks to be okay. So we'll bring you any more news on that as we get it and as needed. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about a few transactions that have been made. This team continues to be very busy, as Dan Morgan hinted at he would be. With this bottom part of the roster. Here's my traditional drink, so hold on a second. For some reason, it just seems like within the first 3 or 4 minutes, I got to take a big chug. Let's go ahead and over the few transactions that have taken place with this Carolina Panthers team. Got them up there for you on the screen. Give me just a second, though, and we'll break this down. All right, so let's go with the first one here. Carolina Panthers have signed tight end Jesper Horsted, and we have waived wide receiver Tavian Robinson. So this roster turns over quick. Horsted, though, just to give you a little information about him, he went to Princeton, been in the league as a free agent since 2019. Spent time with the Bears, the Raiders, and the Saints. Overall, he's been in 41 games over his career, and he is now currently with the Carolina Panthers. Then we signed quarterback Jake Luton, and if that name sounds familiar, it is because he was with the Carolina Panthers quite a bit last year. And the corresponding move was we placed defensive end Kamoko Toure on injured reserve. So those are your latest transactions. Signed tight end Jesper Horsted, waived wide receiver Tavian Robinson, signed quarterback Jake Luton, and then we placed defensive end Kamoko Toure on injured reserve. So those are your latest transactions for this Carolina Panthers team. Let's go ahead and get into some of the play-by-play for today. And I'm going to stick with the format. You guys haven't said that you wanted me to do otherwise. So the new format is, instead of play-by-play, each play that I view, I'm just going to summarize things that I saw and continue on with my observations from practice. All right, so as often happens, I start out with their 11 on 11 and some completions, some handoffs, and there was a nice defensive run defense by the team when there was a handoff. Three guys swarmed pretty good, 92, 40, and 26. Forgot to translate those into names for accuracy, but it was 92, 40, and 26 with some really good run defense. But overall, it was just, wasn't good, wasn't bad. 7-on-7 then took place, and Bryce was looking sharp, connecting with Deontay a couple of times. I noticed one time here in my notes that Bryce had some zip on his pass in which he hit Deontay Johnson. And then Jake Plummer actually is, to me, starting to show some improvements from getting a lot of reps. That started about, I think, last Thursday when Jake first got those reps with Andy being out. And I could tell he's getting better, starting to settle in, still got some ways to go, but had a great anticipation throw to Terrace Marshall while he was in there. And then, again, Bryce came back in, did well, hitting Terrace. I think Terrace is doing good. I really think Terrace Marshall is doing good. I feel like almost, I might want to say a little bit more consistent than Mingo in terms of getting touches, holding on to those passes that are coming to him. Mingo certainly had that practice where he stood out really, really well. And he's done well since then, but I feel like there's been a little bit of inconsistency with Mingo. But nevertheless, again, overall, the offense was looking good. And then the next thing that I noticed was they went and practiced that new kickoff format, which they've actually done special teams several times. But today I had watch it keenly to just see how it works. I want you guys to take on what you think is going to happen with this new kickoff format. When I was watching it today, I'm thinking, okay, I do appreciate that it's more safe for the guys. So I do like that aspect of it. I really do. But then when I saw it in action today, it seemed like, it just seems like if everybody just holds their blocks, because everybody's spread out, they don't have to run down. They're already a good portion of the way down the field. Kind of just hold your blocks, and you're just going to make your tackle. So I don't know how much excitement is going to come out of it. But then they did another one, and I said, okay, well, maybe what they want to try to do to take advantage of this is guys I feel like guys will get grouped up, and maybe you look like you're going to go inside, and if you can pop it outside, there's your chance, right? Get a little bit of outside contain and pop it outside being a possibility. But, I could be wrong. We'll see. I have some comments from Dave Canales just on what he thinks about this new kickoff format.
The new rules, it's going to be really exciting and interesting to see, what happens with just the way it's played. Fortunately, we have the Hall of Fame game to kind of look at, and I'm sure every team, those are the opportunities we have to evaluate. So, we're taking a lot of time looking at that and how our scheme fits in. So I'm very excited to see, and to watch some of the potential of guys who can make those open field decisions where it might get a little messier than your traditional setup blocks and all that stuff. So it's gonna be an exciting part of our game.
So he said it might get a little I forget the word untraditional. I forget the word he used with it. I certainly think the teams will start to find a way to make, to leverage it. But right now, I don't know, but we'll continue to see how it goes. I want to make sure I give a quick shout out to Donald Byers. What's up, Chris? Thanks for the content. You're the man. I definitely appreciate you. Donald, I definitely appreciate you tuning in Sounds like you have tuned in more than once to continue to see the content that I'm bringing, and I appreciate it. We'll certainly continue to earn the title Man of the People each day that there's practice. There's a highlight video, and then there's a recap video, which is the one that you're watching right now. So if you'd like to see some more highlights and plays from practice, I shouldn't say plays, they're drills. We don't get to film actual 11 on 11. We got the bonus of doing that down in Clemson, but typically you can't expect to see 11 on 11 from me. But I will give you as much content as I can. Did not have any one-on-one interviews today, so far I've had Shaw Smith-Wade and Jaden Crumdy. Still have the rest of the rookies to get through, and so that content will be coming to you soon. But thank you very much, Donald. Become a member, Donald. All right, become a member. Get access to some special videos that I put up. All right, continue to work through my observations from practice. There was a play today in which Bryce Young, who has been throwing more deep balls, I have been seeing more deep passes from Bryce Young. Today he had one to Jonathan Mingo, which was a little bit short. He didn't put enough under it, which is honestly something that I felt like I saw a lot of last year. Haven't felt like I've seen a lot of that this year, though. But Xavier Woods nevertheless made a really good play on that ball, batting it away from Mingo. My opinion is Xavier actually could have went for an interception because he had such a good position on Mingo for it, but he just swatted it down. So very good play from Mingo. Nice attempt going downfield by Bryce that they weren't able to connect on. Defense wasn't as dominant as they were yesterday, but they did have a few times where they got some pretty good pressure on Bryce, which is another note that I have here. And hey, I want to highlight this. Jake was in the backfield, running around a little bit, may have gotten tackled if it was real live action, but he didn't. And he threw the ball. Man, I did not do all my – hold on for a second. I think I got my cheat sheet over here. I'm going to step off camera because I did not write down my numbers of guys today, and I do not have my cheat sheet. So I'm about to step back over into the camera, and we'll do this. I'm going to look it up on my roster sheet really quickly. Really thought I had it up here, but I don't have it. So let's see. No, you come on by. Come on by. Just wave as you do. I'm just messing with you. Let's see. It was 39. So what were the numbers of the players here? Let me go and look. So 39 was the catch. 28 was all over them. So 39 with the catch. 39 would have been Dawood Davis. So Dawood Davis on the reception and defended by, you guys probably already put this together for me. Dawood Davis and 28 would have been, do we have 228? Because that's not right. And we do have some duplicate numbers right now during training camp. All right, so may have been, so all that, I wasted you all's time. All that trying to get the proper names to match with those numbers, and it looked like my numbers weren't accurate, which I do have to again remind you that I do my best to get those numbers. We're on ground level, a lot of obstructed views, have my binoculars with me, but I don't think I got it right. But I do know 39 had an excellent catch with the defender being all over his back, actually swiping over his head, and he caught the ball and actually maintained the ball through contact to the ground. So I thought that was a really nice play that I want to point out and to share with you all. Next, we went to the red zone, and Mingo did have a great catch. So I was just talking earlier about Mingo and Marshall. Mingo did have a flash today when they went into the red zone, back of the end zone, caught the ball, toe tap. Even though it was a flag on the play, he still maintained the catch, and that would have been a touchdown. Chuba, nice catches as well, popping out from the backfield. Chuba's hands continue to look so much improved over what I would say was a year and a half ago, because last year he improved, and he looks like he is continuing to improve and look sharp with the hands. And going through some more here. Yeah, so that was it for practice. Again, I said at the top there wasn't anything that stood out much today. It almost seemed like a walkthrough type of practice, but I guess Dave got accomplished what he wanted to accomplish, and tomorrow they will be in pad, so I will continue to update you all on that. Speaking of Mr. Canales, he spoke with the media yesterday at practice where the defense started out strong, offense started out slow, even though the offense did pick up. He talked about what he's looking to get out of training camp right now that he has not been seeing.
But I'm still just looking for that consistency of that high energy, that high effort. They were definitely going today, but I know that we can continue to push that standard and push that bar of stacking up great days, which we know we're going to need going into the season when you get that opportunity to really work on Wednesday, Thursday, to be able to stack 2 great days of work.
So consistency is what he's looking for, and I agree. He hasn't seen it from all around. He wants to see offensive side, defensive side, special teams consistently execute as they should execute, which is what you're going to need to have sustained success in the NFL. Hadn't quite seen it yet. And let me address this really quick from Donald Byers. How do I become a member? So you should see in the description of this current video, there's a link there. There's more than one way to become a member. I don't know them all, but I know if you hit view channel, tap the logo. I don't know if you're on the phone watching or if you're on the computer, but tap the logo for Charlotte Vibe. Take it to our channel where you'll have the option to become a member. But there's also a link in the description which tells you how to become a member. So you can just click on that, sign up, and enjoy some special perks. And Ben Independent Media, you guys, financial contributions are what funds this site 100%. So anytime you're able to do that, greatly appreciate it. So that consistency. Again, I'm becoming a fan of Dave Canales. Don't think I touched on this earlier, but I put this out there on post because I didn't go live after this news came out. Wide receiver Xavier Legette, he will not play at all this Thursday in New England, and he had the x-ray, which was negative. The MRI revealed there was nothing, no fractures in the foot. So he's at this point just going to be day to day. Terrace Marshall at this point again will be day to day. Well, we know Xavier's not playing. A few other guys aren't playing. Who will be playing? Will Bryce be playing? Who will be playing? So Dave Canales said not quite yet ready to make that decision as they still need to evaluate some things with the current injuries that are going. So got a little bit more information about that. Here you go.
We're gonna make sure we get through. We got through today. Want to make sure I get through a hard practice tomorrow so we can really evaluate who's going to be available. And then we're gonna make our decisions really tomorrow night on what the depth chart looks like and the play time and all that looks like for the game.
So here's where we get interactive. Okay, do you guys think that we should see Bryce play on Thursday? Just type a yes or type a no. All right, let's do a little interaction here. I'm curious to see if you all think that Bryce should play yes or no in the comments right now. Go ahead and start leaving those comments. There's a little bit of a delay from when I first say something to when you guys see it. And if you want to do some bonus extra credit, tell me why. Why do you think he should or why do you think he shouldn't? And I just want to have a little interaction with you all right now about that. And see, once you guys have a few comments that come out there, I'll share my opinion and my thoughts. So right now we have Donald Byers saying no. Knucklehead K saying no. Everybody's saying no. I definitely want to give another second because this is a little surprising to me. And if anybody wants to tell their opinion on why, I'm all for it. But I'll give you just about another 10 seconds to see what people say. Okay, finally, Chris Gill says 100% yes. Five, 4, 3, 2. And in case you guys wonder why, I'm actually looking at a monitor. Some people have asked, like, what am I doing? But I'm looking at my monitor right here to read. So just one yes and many more no's. Well, I'm on Chris Gill's part. I'm on his side. I think he should play. It's so many new pieces to Bryce's line. He has new pieces on there. He has a new center that he needs to work with in a game environment. He has new wide receivers. He has a new coach. He has a new offensive coordinator. There's a lot of moving parts to getting a play called in, getting the formations in, lining them up. And I'm not saying that they can't practice that at all in practice, but the same reason that Dave Canales was happy about the Back Together Saturday, which was here at Bank of America Stadium, Fan Fest, which was at Clemson, when there's fans and when there's a stadium, that's a different environment that makes it more real, that gives you a chance to get things worked out. We know this team is not going to have a lot of room for error, right? So it doesn't have to be 20 plays, but absolutely a couple of series. Get Bryce out there. They could be handoffs. They could be short. It could be really vanilla, but just get some game action going and then get him out of there. Get some continuity among all these new pieces. Again, players and coaches, a lot of new pieces. And I would like to see that happen. Okay, we got some explanations, which I'm going to go ahead and share. We need to evaluate the backups, especially for a backup QB. Well, the backup quarterback is going to be Andy Dalton, but I guess maybe you're saying the backup players. Okay, I hear you. Appreciate the comment. Knucklehead K, which is a member, so we got to give a little special love to our members right here, right? But Knucklehead K says no, because we do not need him hurt for one or two. We need to evaluate other talent there. Okay. And Donald Byer says anything can happen. Biggest risk of injury. He's been practicing. He's got so many reps last year. Let him get more comfortable with the new system. Okay. Chris Gill says just go get a feel for the offense live and full speed. All right. Let's see. Yeah, welcome. Hey, Donald hasn't become a member yet. Once he becomes a member, then we can give him the official welcome, but not yet. And Kevin said, yes, he needs the reps. Andy's injured. Yeah, so, my take on getting guys injured, you could get injured all the time. That's part of playing the game. And I'm not knocking the fact that he could get injured, but you can really prepare for that, right? I mean, again, he could do handoffs. He's now being trained to throw the ball in 2.7 seconds. That's pretty quick. So that's basically saying, like, he's been trained to not just sit back there and don't just stand back there for 1,001, 1,002, 1,000, 5 seconds. It's preseason. Be on that clock. Get rid of the ball. I think he can very easily keep himself safe out there in a preseason game, but be able to go through some of the reps. All right. Appreciate all the interaction. Donald, if you're still having problems with becoming a member, let me know. Leave a comment, email me, whatever you need to do to get to me so I can make sure that you get some help. Offensive philosophy, Dave Canales was hired for that reason, for his offensive smarts and getting Bryce to be that quarterback whisperer. So he shared today something interesting, which I want to share with you guys. Deontay Johnson is certainly been not a secret that they want him to be their main guy. But he shared his thoughts on having a main guy as a wide receiver and how that could benefit the team.
Yeah, I don't really know about numbers, but I know you have to have a starting point. He's a great one. He's a great place to start with our pass game. Let's formation things to start to try to make. If you make a focal point, it opens everything else up. If they know that you're going to a certain player, defenses start to make their calls accordingly. And then that allows everybody else to kind of get space and do that, But what I know is you can't chase trying to get the ball to everyone, because then all of a sudden it just waters down what you're doing. You got to have a focal point in the run game so that you can throw your play actions. You got to have a focal point in the drop back pass game so that the rest of the things open up off of it. So he's doing a fantastic job. I love seeing the chemistry that he and Bryce are formulating. And again, he's still got a ways to go in terms of grasping what we're doing here, but he's doing a great job of just applying himself to it, working his tail off, making himself available, and really just taking those in-between windows to talk to Bryce, to make sure they're on the same page for stuff. So some great challenges have come up, and I've seen them just connect, and that's what we're looking for.
So some interesting things that he said there. And, I'm still digesting on how I feel about that because Dave, like I said, he's starting to win me over. It's almost like anything he says, I'm like, yeah, what Dave said. But, I want to be properly analytical about it and give you all my thoughts on it. But I will say this at the end, and let me know, again, live shows for the point of being interactive. Let me know your thoughts about what he said on his philosophy of having that marquee guy so that defenses can plan for that person, and that gives you opportunities to try to do other things, I guess, giving them more to think about versus just having, I want here, 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 here. Like, no, like, get the ball in your best guy's hands, let him do what he can do, supported by a great run offense. But toward the end, he mentioned about there's still some work to be done. There's still some more of the system that he needs to learn. So if you have that need, that there's more work that needs to be done, there's more getting on the same page with Bryce. Bryce talked about, speaking with Deontay and the details that they talk about, give those guys a few reps so that they can continue to work that out. That's going to be, he's going to be an important part of your offense. Get a fast start. We all know, maybe we forgot, this schedule, starting with when they, come back from Germany, it's a pretty tough schedule, right? So it's important that they do win the games that you would see as being winnable games right now and starting out fast. So we'll see. We'll see what he ends up deciding. But let me also go ahead and do this right here because Donald Byers is now a member. So we got to go ahead and give him the proper welcome. Give him some more air horns, give him some more applause. Donald, thank you very, very much for becoming a member of the Charlotte Vibe media channel covering the Carolina Panthers. Appreciate you very, very much in doing so. Welcome. All right, that is all. Excuse me, that is all that I have for today. Let me just double check my notes, make sure that's it. Yeah, a few miscellaneous things to share with you. Greg Olson was at practice today. Pretty cool to see Greg around. Greg's a big guy, really big guy. Luke Kuechly was around today. I think Luke and Dave Canales, as well as Deontay, was on, I can't remember the name of the show. It's slipping my mind as it comes to, like, I can see it, but I can't remember. It's not like Good Morning Football. Let me see if it's quickly in my time feed here. It's probably, I'm going to find it. Here we go. So, yeah, he was on the Up and Adams. Canales, Deontay, Luke, Up and Adams show was here in Charlotte today. So they appeared on that, as well as ESPN was here. So Ian Rappaport was at practice today and talking to players. I think he talked to Robert Hunt. I haven't seen that one on the internet yet. So if you're hungry for some more content, you can look for those things there. Anything else stuck out from practice today, miscellaneous? Nope, that's it. So appreciate you all very much. Today, Monday, August 5th, Chris Jenkins reporting from Bank of America Stadium for Charlotte Vibe.